Hi everyone, it's Angelina from Sparkling Diva. Oh dear, I'm not certain whether I'm holding my phone upside down now. I don't think so. Anyhow, I'm going to continue. This is a past life reading that I'm going to do in a minute. I will add some crystals to the cards, but I wanted to show you the piles anyways before I start. And when I put the phone in the stand, I cannot show you the piles, the sets anymore. So there's going to be 3 sets, and I'm really eager to get going with it because I've already had a look at the cards because it's a new deck. I only got it in today. So I'm not all that familiar with it yet, and I went through it, and oh my god, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The reading is going to be about what past life happening event is still influencing you this life. The biggest thing that happened, so to speak, that is influencing you in this life. Some sets have more cards than others. I'm not going to tell you which ones. It just depends, you know. If more questions come up as I'm doing the reading, I draw more cards, right? Also, I'm going to do my best to make it into one video, but because I'm doing an HD recording, it just automatically stops after 48 minutes or something. No, 4 gigabytes actually. And then it automatically starts a new recording. There's nothing I can do about that as far as I know. Yeah, stop recording HD quality, which I actually don't like. So I hope I'm going to make it. I'm going to do my best. But I also like to take my time to do the reading. So if there is going to be a part 2, if it cuts off in the middle of a reading, like I said, I cannot help it. Then I will upload part 2. So I'm going to pause it now and put it in the stand and choose the crystals for the sets, if that may help you. Right, there we are again with the crystals. Alright, for the first set I have a carnelian. For the second one, I'm not going to show you the runes because I'm not going to read the runes. The second one is an amethyst. For the third one, it's rhodonite. And for numbers 4, I'm not sure. I do think it's... no, I'm not. I don't know. It could be blue and as opal, but I'm not sure what this is. But in any case, a light blue stone. So if you're drawn to that, then you're number 4. I've already shown the piles without the crystals because I wanted to choose the crystals when I was set down, nice and comfortable. So I hope you can make your choice. I'm going to start the reading. If you haven't made a choice, then please pause the video or go back to where I show you the sets, the different sets. I really want to get going. So I'm going into the first one, the carnelians. The first question, I did some questions. Yeah, what the past life event is that influences you greatly in this life, in the now. And then we have reflection. And we can see a boat, a little boat. It's going off. It's all nice and peaceful and quiet. And yeah, that can be a journey, going somewhere over water, a journey. And then I asked for a bit more clarification, and I got a second card, and then I got the journey. And again a boat, again, you know, ships. And then I began to get this feeling, because with the interpretations of these cards, it says that you cannot stay in the harbour. You really have to venture out and, you know, new adventures and all that stuff. So you can't stay here. And that sort of triggered something. And I began to get the feeling that you had to leave because of some reason, almost as if you maybe had to flee or whatever, something going on. You couldn't stay here. You had to go, even though it was quite yeah, peaceful and yeah, it looked nice and friendly and etc. But you had to leave, and I asked then an extra card to where you had to go, and then we got the architect. Which could mean literally that you had to go to Egypt or that you went to Egypt, but I feel more that it is to a different country, yes, it's over water, yes, with a ship, and a different culture, not your own culture, a different culture, and you were in a position of power, authority, whatever that means. It could be you were, for instance, the captain of the ship or whatever. You had power, you had authority, because the architect has authority as well. He also has skills because he makes plans, he strategizes, he knows how to build buildings, how to make them strong and lasting, how to create them so they're safe, etc. So you also had skills. You could plan, you could strategize, and that in a way is also a form of power. So it doesn't mean to say you were the captain of the ship, but you did have some form of authority, knowledge. And I got another card with that again. So this set has quite a lot of cards. Because, that's because he is pointing to in this direction, the architect. And then you have to look to the card next to that to find out what it means. And so I had to draw another card because this was already a clarifier card. So I had to get another card, right, to find out, okay, what is he pointing at? Well, and surprise, surprise, another ship. Another ship. Well, isn't that amazing? And then this card also has this extra meaning that the man here, he is looking, searching for something with the binoculars, using Oops, sorry, that was a bit fast. I'm so sorry. With binoculars, and then you have to look into the direction of what he is looking, and then we get back to the architect. So these definitely are connected. It has to do something. So you had these skills, the power, the authority, the wisdom, or whatever. It had to do with a ship, being on a ship, or traveling. But I do feel a ship. No, not just traveling. It is to do with a ship, something on a ship, because we have that come up 3 times. And if you look at this scenery, this is a major arcana card, by the way. So this was quite important. And you see that fire, right? And there's holes in the sails, etc. There is a battle going on. So something went wrong. There was a battle. Maybe, it could be that it was a military thingy, like being in the military, like going, and then often going to different countries, different shores, different cultures, right? Different countries, different cultures, etc. And maybe, there could have been a traders, and then, but it can also have been military. And I'm inclined to say military. I don't know why, but I'm inclined to say that because it just feels that way. And then there was a battle. You were attacked or whatever. Something went wrong, and I feel that you lost people under your authority. You were in power, or it was your responsibility. And people died. People died. And that doesn't mean to say you made a mistake. I don't think you made a mistake. Sometimes these things happen, especially, still do, but especially in the past, these things just happen. But I think that impacted you. That you, it was all nice and peaceful and calm and quiet. And I feel also, because of this card, the harbor, that you were quite used to this scenario. So regularly going to different places, different cultures, different countries, different shores. But then something happened, something went wrong. And maybe you were literally, like I said, attacked, and people died under your command, or if not your command, then you did have authority. You were an authority figure that people relied on. So almost like you failed them because they died. And then moving on, let me see what I had then. Oh yeah, how does that affect you in the now? And then we have the 8 of Roses. Community, Shanga, community. And that is, it's a very homely scene, right? nice family or people, friends sitting together, enjoying a homely life or get together. And this basically speaks of finding your tribe, having a social circle, the importance of family, of spending time together with other people, like-minded people, people you relate to. And there's also a lot of symbols in here that point to different cultures. And I have to get the booklet for that, okay? That's the fastest, otherwise it's going to take a longer time. And I don't want to take forever with the recording. Roses, 8 of Roses. There is a dream catcher in there and a Buddha. Let me see, a caduceus, a sunflower, a Tibetan bell, an Egyptian scarab, again Egyptian, isn't that peculiar, huh? A dream catcher, a Star of David, and that's just a few, so there's more symbols in there from different groups and societies. So this is really about that, you know. And it indicates that it is time to join or rejoin your group, your tribe, your ashram, your shanga, and whatever you call it. It is a community that connects you with others of like-minded purpose and activity. There are many communities in each person's life and still more that return from past lives. For instance, you have family, friends, work associates, but you also have the people with whom you share many creative, cultural and spiritual purposes. New friends can also be coming your way at this time. Be open to new connections. And I feel that it is important for you to socialize, to have a group of like-minded people that you can connect to. You likely also have an interest in different cultures, and that's also from that life, from that past life, because you traveled literally to different countries and cultures. So if you have an interest in that, then that's because of that. But I feel that if you look at a more serious impact of this past life on the now, is that maybe you don't socialize enough, maybe you don't go out enough to find people, like-minded people who share your passions. Maybe your social circle is too narrow-minded. That's not the right word, but I hope you get what I mean. Too limited, maybe. Maybe just your very small circle, like your own family and a few friends, and that doesn't do you good. You need more people, especially because you have diversity and many interests because of all these symbols and cultures and things, and you have a lot of different things to offer and share. And I think many of you who chose this don't do that, are not doing that. And the last card is interesting because I asked how you can heal that, what you can do. And then again, against a travel thingy, movement, travel, a hot air balloon. I mean, this is amazing. And what? Up in the air. And this time it's not a ship, okay? But then you can't see anyone in the basket. So who is steering that hot air balloon? If no one is taking control of it, it's just going wherever the wind blows it. And I feel that this says something about this situation as well, that you actually should take more control of your life. Get back at the helm of your life and take responsibility. Dare to do that again. And then I get back to this card where I feel that people died, lost their lives when you felt responsible for them, and maybe you actually were responsible for them, and that is still affecting you to the point that you now don't dare to take responsibility anymore. daren't really venture out there anymore. You're not in control of of your life maybe, or certain things that you would like to do, because you don't want that responsibility anymore. You just don't want that responsibility anymore. And that could how that impacts your life can vary for everyone who chose this. For instance, if you happen to want to start your own business, then maybe you're not doing that because you daren't take responsibility. You're scared of doing that. So you're just staring at it as your dream, what you really want, your dream, but you're not taking control of it. You're not grounding it either. It's just up in the air. It's not manifesting. You have the idea, you have the dream, you have the wish, but you're not taking control of it. You just look at it and nothing happens. So then it cannot ground, it cannot anchor, it cannot manifest. So that I feel that is what you can do if you want. If this rings true to you, that you should do that. Just take control of it. Take action. Start doing things. Don't be afraid. There's no reason to be afraid. This was in the past. And okay, it might not be nice, but things happen, Yeah. And then if people die, then that was also divinely orchestrated. It's however crude that may sound. And you don't have to suffer anymore for that. You can just, you have the right to now manifest your dreams and to do things, enjoy life. And if this indeed also rings true, then for God's sake, get more outgoing, do more, start socializing more, or find your tribe, your people. Or if you're already doing that, then maybe you're not doing what you actually want to do, this dream. Because there's all these symbols like the dream catcher, the bell and the Buddha, etc., etc. You have so much to offer, so much to share. But it's as if the circle in which you're sharing all that is too small. You can do bigger, you can do better in that sense. So do that. So that's it for you. And I'm quite sure there is much more that I could come up with, but okay, it's not a personal reading, and I have 3 more sets to do, and there was quite a lot of cards as it is anyway. But if this resonated with you, please let me know and give me some thumbs up, if you liked it, and well, thank you for watching, and hope to see you again with another reading very soon. I'm moving on to the numbers 2 now, the people who chose the amethyst. Let's see. They are all messed up. The past life event that affects you now greatly, and then we have the Akashic field, the One of Forces, the Northern Lights. Isn't that beautiful? I'm holding it like that so you can see the colors. It's really a beautiful card. And this is actually, just in itself, it's wonderful. It's about having a very, very good, solid, divine connection and being able to do spiritual work and really being tapped in, tuned in, etc., etc. So that's really positive. But I felt that I got this card with that, the Archangel Gabriel card, which is to do with communication. He has the crest of our... God Mercurius on his chest, which is also about communication, expressing truth and divine pure truth as well. So I feel that in a past life you were probably quite happy, but I feel you were quite isolated, almost as if you were, at first I thought maybe like being in a convent or an abbey as a priest or priestess or nun or whatever. But somehow, maybe for some of you that is true, but I think this is more a life in a very, very restrictive community, which can be a convent, but somehow it feels different. More like a community that was very much to itself, didn't allow any contact with the outside world or something. Because they chose to, or because of the location, but I feel more because they chose to. And it was likely very much for religious reasons, and they can be more the spiritual, more the pagan religion, so to speak. It can also be church religion, I don't know. But a spiritual reason in that sense, religious, spiritual, whether it's Catholic or Muslim or Hindu or whatever, or just paganism, I don't know. But something like that, it had to do with that. And you were doing spiritual work there, like a shaman would, or a wise woman, or very much to yourself, and you were doing stuff that relates to communication, to relaying messages from spirit, maybe even, like channeling. You do that too. And I do know from books that sometimes people, like high priestesses, did do that. Then they used herbs and mushrooms and stuff, a specific mixture, and they knew exactly how much, so that they would get high, so to speak, and that they were an open channel for the gods or for spirit. And yeah, whatever it is, you did do something that had to do with communication from spirit. So basically connecting heaven and earth in that way, not the communication as in writing, not that. I don't feel that. Really, that higher connection, using that higher connection to and bring that to people. So that could also be a wise woman. They used to live alone often as well, or on the edge of a society, of a community. I do feel many of you who chose this did actually channel, like a priestess or a high priestess, or high priest even, but I think it was mostly women who did that, because of our innate intuition. And how does that affect you in the now? Then we have the Queen of Keys, a very wonderful card, as you can see. This is the in Default Tarot, the Pentacles. This is to do with wisdom and prosperity, abundance, etc., etc. Also the ego, maybe. And well, since you're the queen, then you're doing quite well in that area, in that arena. So you likely do have a lot of wisdom, a lot to offer, just a lot to offer. But I feel you're not doing enough with it, because this in the interpretation it says that she's waiting, and this is the castle or whatever, and she's waiting for her husband to come home. And I was looking at it, and it's like, well, okay, where is this husband then? Well, there's this tiny little dot in the background there. I assume that could be a horse with maybe her husband, I don't know. But in any case, she is not really doing anything much. She's just standing here waiting with all her riches and abundance and wisdom and everything that she actually has to offer, but she's not doing much with it. She's just, letting someone else do it, take care of her, like her husband. She's just playing housewife, so to speak. I'm not saying you are playing housewife, okay? But I'm talking about dynamics. It's about dynamics. So not really doing anything much with what you actually have to offer, which is a hell of a lot. Because you have all this. You have access to the Akashic field. I mean, bloody hell. So if you're not doing anything with that, then I wonder if you actually really are happy. And yeah, you look happy, you seem happy, but you can do so much more. You can have so much more. So maybe deep down you actually feel that niggling, is that the right word? I'm not even sure now. Sometimes I have these words come up and then I have to Google them to see if I am right. But it's like, yeah, maybe you do have a nagging feeling deep down, like there's got to be more. There has to be more than just this. And even though you have a wonderful life, you have the house, you have the wealth, you have the abundance, you have maybe the husband, or whatever, the wisdom, and you're not doing anything with the wisdom. You have much more to offer. You can do much more. And then the funny thing is, when I asked, like, what can you do about this, or how can you change this or heal this or whatever, I got this diversity, 5 of scrolls, and again a woman on a a veranda, balcony type, in a balcony on a type situation, very similar. Isn't that odd? It's I mean, yeah. The difference being that this card is speaking of diversity, and the Queen of this was keys, was the pentacles, and the scrolls is the swords. So there's more again communication, right? Communication, like we had here, the first 2 cards from the past life. Communication. Mercury on Archangel Gabriel's chest. He is the angel, the divine messenger, communicator. And then we have this card, and this says that you actually have to start going out there, learning new things, going places, meet new people, do things, get more active. Even if you don't really have a plan, do it. Just do it. You have to go out there. And then it may feel to you as if you're spreading yourself, your energy too thin, but you're not. You're just discovering, you're learning, you're doing. And then you hang about. I'll find the text with that, because it was quite interesting. I love that. 8 of scrolls, 5 of scrolls. Allow yourself to try new things, to go to new places, learn new subjects, break out into different directions and meet new people too. Don't worry about scattering your energy too thin. You're in a period of expansion, so use it. Let yourself go farther afield than you planned. And in the end, you will diversify in ways that introduce you to a whole new you. And, what I feel, the importance of this, the difference with that past life, this was more spiritual. And so connecting to the higher, to the higher forces and energies and etc. And that's wonderful, because that brings you a lot. You need that connection. We all need that connection, right? And that brought you a lot of wisdom, insight, intuition. You're probably very intuitive as well. I wonder if you are aware of that. Whether you're a man or a woman watching this, it doesn't really matter, okay? You are very intuitive, really intuitive. And you have an awful lot to offer, this wisdom, etc. And very intuitive. But it was all still quite not grounded. That wisdom, that what you can do, what you have to offer, was not completely... This is more grounded. This is more on the 3D planes. In the physical, more in the physical. Doing something with all that knowledge in the physical. So not like, you could still maybe do channeling or whatever, but this was more like you were constantly going up to the higher realms and living a very limited life in the physical. And like I said, it was a very secluded thingy. And often the ones that channeled, I think they often were kept away from the mundane day-to-day life as well. And now you have to do that. That's what you now have to do. You now have to implement all that you can do, everything you have to offer, and in the physical, in the mundane, in day-to-day life, and do something with it, in whatever shape or form that may be, And that's just it. So then you basically are really connecting heaven and earth. Then you're bringing it down, manifesting these things in the 3D, making yourself happy with that. And then you grow and you evolve even more. Yeah, that's a shift. That's different. That really is different. So I hope that resonates. I hope that makes sense to you. And that's all for now. That's all that comes through for this reading. So I hope yeah, well, like I said, I hope it resonates, it's helpful. Please let me know in the feedback, and if it does, and if you like it, then please give me these thumbs and give me these likes, and then I'm going to move on to the number 3, and thank you for watching. Bye bye. Right, moving on to number 3. I'm gonna pause it for a bit, I need a drink. Right, so moving on with the number 3. Turn the volume of the music down as well. Before I start this reading, I'm at 30 minutes into the recording, meaning that I likely only have 15 minutes left before it switches off and begins a new recording automatically. Like I said at the beginning of this reading, I can't help that. It's just what happens when when a recording gets to 4 gigabytes. I haven't a clue why. So if that happens during this reading, then please continue with the part 2, because there is going to be a part 2. There's no way I can do 2 sets in 15 minutes. And then I have to just, really cut it short. I don't like that. I don't like doing that. And so if that happens during this reading of number 3, then please watch part 2. I will put the link in the description box underneath the video. Okay, you were the rhodonite. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I do believe this is rhodonite, whatever. The first question was which event affects you greatly in this life, and then we got that. The one of scrolls on track. The man that's about to get on the train. Train is about to leave, the engine is already going, because there's this smoke coming out. And when I saw this, I almost, I was in tears. I don't know why, it hit me like like a brick to the face. It really hit me. It's about having to leave something behind. Something that was very, very dear to you. So that could be a country, a lover, a city, something. You had to leave something behind. And that affected you greatly. And you were off to a good life, so it's not that you were going into poverty or anything, it was it wasn't that. But you still had to leave something behind that you cared greatly about. So maybe it could be like moving to another country, like many people in the past moved to the Americas, to the new country, right? And then start a new life there. So then maybe you led a wonderful new life there, but you still had to leave behind friends and maybe family and the country that you loved. Probably could be that you were married off, an arranged marriage, for instance, that you were, in that sense, were put on a train to marry someone while you were actually seriously loving another already, and had to leave a lover, or it could be various things. I couldn't get that clear because I think that will be different for everyone. But the more cards will come up to show that you actually did have to leave something behind that, well, that hurt you. It really hurt you. Even though you were off to a good life, that but it still hurt you. And that left a huge mark, a really huge mark in this life. And I asked what the result of that now was, of that happening. And then we have the 4 of scrolls, both scrolls, swords cards in the default tarot. The karmic trench. And that speaks of patterns that don't do you any good. That you, basically, you keep digging that one trench, while there are plenty of other rows that have also been ploughed and are also ready and fertile and, to have seeds planted in them. But you're not doing that. You're not seeing them. You're not, you're ignoring them. You're just so focused on that one trench, deeper, digging in deeper and deeper and deeper. And why? There is an entire field You're not seeing it. You're only seeing that one trench. And that has to do with, I feel that you have a problem. This is to do with a karmic pattern, a pattern from past lives that you will know what it is. And I feel in this case it's a problem with letting go. Because of this, you had to let go here. You had to leave something behind that mattered so much to you and that hurt you so much, that you now in this life have a problem of letting go. And that means that you also don't let go of situations or people that actually don't serve you, that you really should let go of. And you don't. You hang on to them, you latch onto them, you want to make it work, you try to make it work, you refuse to let go almost, because you don't want to go through that pain again of letting go, of losing something that was dear to you. You rather just break your back, trying to dig that trench deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you will sow the seeds in there, hoping that they will come into fruition, but that is not really going to happen. And why would you focus on that one trench? Because there are so many other rows that are ploughed as well and ready, and they would deliver the goodies. It's just basically wasting your time and your energy. And that's something that you have to learn to change, to let go of, to let go of, right? But it's a pattern, and you keep repeating that. You keep doing that, you keep repeating that. Even if you find, in the end, leave that one, because you have no other choice, that can happen, right? Then, and if you have to abandon that one, you're going to do the same thing with another row. And you start digging there, and you start digging and digging and digging and deeper and deeper and deeper. And, are you actually even going to get around to planting the seeds? It can also point at perfectionism, maybe. Wanting to have it all really, really sussed and well done and prepared, and before you actually plant the seeds. But at some point you've got to make the decision. If you get too deep, how are these seeds, the plants, actually going to surface? They're too deep underground. You can do too much as well. It's doing too much, giving too much, toiling, over-giving, over-functioning, not seeing when it's time to let go. And that's because of that, because you had to. You had to. And that hurt you so deeply, so much. I'm almost in tears. And let's see, this one, how can you heal this? The fastest and the easiest. And we got this, birth. And this is a landscape in England, which is typical because I love England. And there's a henge, a stone henge in the back there, a henge. And there's these children and the woman, and it's all happy and peaceful and wonderful. And this feels like home to me. And I feel that this is what you have to do. You have to just settle. Look at what you have. Look at what's there and enjoy that. Enjoy that. Also take time out. Happiness in life is not plodding constantly. It's not working hard. It's not latching onto things and situations. It's also relaxing and allowing things in, enjoying, sharing. It's sharing. It's not just giving and working and giving and working. It's sharing and allowing other people and situations to come to you as well. Like these kids, they go to her. I'm assuming it's mum, right? And they come to her. She doesn't have to chase after the kids, they love mum and they will come to her. So you just have to relax and learn to enjoy and see what you've got and what is there. The scenery, it's just so beautiful. And create that for yourself. If you don't have that, then create that for yourself. And break these patterns of learn when to say no. And like I say in my workshops online, my training sessions, my courses, it's like it's not really about saying no to someone else, because that is still about the other person. It's about saying yes to you, because that's about you. That is loving you. That is really about you. This is just love. This is just pure love. A happy family, basically. Enjoying, sharing, being, just being. Yeah, so that's how you can heal it. The fastest and the easiest way to do that. Now, because this train, it is heading in a direction, right? And then you can look at where were you going? Where is the train going? So I drew a card for that. I have to find it. Hang about. And then I got that card. This one. 6 of Keys in Crescent Moon. This is a new moon. It's on its way to becoming full, which I now found out is what is called in Crescent Moon. I didn't know that. And if you look through the window, there is a city there. I'm not certain. I think it focuses. Yeah, there we go. There's a city there. So, yeah. That's, oddly enough, that is also the feeling I got with that train. It's not like you're moving to the country or something. You're moving to a city, a new place, a new land, a new city. And also because of that new moon, it's something new that was going to grow and develop, and it is actually quite good. Yeah, it is quite good. Let me see quickly in the book what it says about that card. 6 of Keys. To find it, it's in the back, I believe. And there we have 1. Let's see. Yeah, it's about doing really well too. It's a harbor city, the moon, abundance. Yeah, it shows an exciting time of increase, abundance and growth because of that moon, right? It's waxing. Your efforts have combined with external circumstances, and even the stars have aligned. If things have been financially tight, then you can relax. There's great opportunity for increase and fulfillment in every way, financially, creatively, and even in your reputation and prestige. So just do your work and get ready to receive. So again, I feel that I said that here with the train card, right? You were not going off to your detriment or something. You were not going off into poverty. You were actually off to some quite good life, an abundant life. But that doesn't mean to say that that abundant life was what you wanted at that time. But it did, yeah, it was good in that sense, financially and abundance and all that stuff. You had everything one would want. It's just that you had to leave something behind in order to get that. And I'm still feeling it's another country, and it likely also someone you loved, or people you loved. It could also be family, but so you did have a great life. So that's not the problem. That is not the problem. Where you went in itself is not the problem, because that was great. It's what you had to leave behind. And then I drew a few more cards to find out what it was that you had to leave behind. I first went for a few cards from the Earth Magic Oracle deck. Well, look at that. Your power. You left behind your harmony, your inner balance, your power. This is feeling wonderful. This is great. This is feeling balanced and compassion and love. It's just like you can see this as 2 hands coming together. But in this case, I feel it's 2 hands actually, moving apart because you had to leave. It makes me really, really quite sad. And you felt like this is being empowered in your power, being able to use your power and stand in your power, and you lost that as well. You likely found that back in that new life eventually, but this shook you up tremendously. I drew another card from this Akashic Tarot to see if it confirmed these 3 cards, and well, look at that. Commitment, the 1 of Roses. This is also what you left behind. So I do feel you were involved with someone or in love with someone. And I still do feel that it involves another country, moving to another country. You never saw them again. You never saw them again. You never went back. You just, for whatever reason, maybe you didn't want to, maybe it was too emotional, maybe you couldn't, maybe you weren't allowed to, I don't know, but you never saw them again. You never did. God, I'm about to cry now. Right, and then the last card for this set is how far have you gotten with this healing of this thing that happened. And then we have the King of Keys, and then, well, look at that man. Doesn't he look happy? Come on, focus. Thank you. He is happy. He's totally happy. He's almost home. He's almost there. He's home. Look at the abundance, you know. His outfit, the armor, the outfit, the colors of it. And yeah, I mean, he's a king, right? The horse. Beautiful white horse and a castle. He's almost home. He's almost back home. He's back home. Where he belongs, where he wants to be. So you're almost there. You're well on your way. You're almost there. You're going to make it. You're going to get that power back. You're going to get your power back. You're going to heal from whatever happened from this pain. You're going to heal. You are. You are going to heal. Meaning that whatever it is that you lost back then is going to heal. Like, for instance, if it was a lover, a husband, yeah, no, well, I doubt you had to leave a husband behind, but a lover, or someone you were in love with, or were betrothed to maybe, and had to be broken for whatever reason, then you will find love again. You will find real, intensely deep love. It will heal. It will heal. You are almost there. Or you already are. That is also possible. And if not, then you're very close. Because this is your home, this is your castle, this is where you belong, this is your land. This is your land. Yeah. I'm going to pause for a bit. Now I need a drink and a smoke, because this was very emotional. I drew this one for myself too. This is really emotional.